I had a question come in this week about age, and I wanted to speak into it a little bit. Some of you may or may not know this, but Fatima and I are actually 8 years apart. So we have a pretty significant age difference, and it hasn't really been a problem for us, but it's definitely been something that we've had to, discuss and look at as we were growing our relationship together. This is the question that came in. This question is from Eliza. Let me pull it up here. And she says, "Hi Shane, I've been dating someone for almost 2 months now, and all in all, things are going really well. There is one problem though, and it's really bothering me. He's 6 years younger than me, and I'm afraid he's too young, and I'm going to get attached, and he's going to lose interest." She asks, "Is 6 years too much? Am I getting it over my head? Please help, thanks." So I appreciate the question, Eliza, and I want to speak into it here because our experience has been that age is not an issue, but if you're concerned about age, something else might be an issue. So in this video, I'm going to share our story and I'm going to tell you what that other issue might be. So thanks for watching and let's dive in. So it's kind of funny, the story of how Fatima and I met. And I just want to share this because we thought age might be a concern at the beginning. And then as we got to know each other, we realized it really wasn't a concern. But the way we met was Fatima had come down. She lived in New Jersey at the time. I lived in South Florida. Now we actually live in New Jersey together. But at the time I lived in South Florida. And she had come down from New Jersey to South Florida to do a seminar for the weekend. And I was one of the trainers at that seminar. So what I was doing at the time was I was working with this training company and I was delivering these weekend seminars. Now, she had come down for the weekend to do the training. And at the time, I was in the back of the room. There was another trainer on stage. And Fatima was all the way in the front of the room. So I was in the back. She was in the front. And, you imagine this big conference room. There are well over 100 people in there. And, we're all the way on opposite sides of the room. We couldn't even really see each other that well. And it's so funny. So the person who was in the front of the room, he was introducing the training and he was introducing those of us who were in the back of the room. And I stood up and I introduced myself. And, we're going down the line. That was towards the end of the line. So we're going down the line. Everyone's introducing themselves. And when it got to me, I stood up. I introduced myself. I said, "My name is Shane Kohler. I'm a professional coach," and blah, blah, blah. Told a little bit about myself. And then I said my age. I said I'm 26 years old. Now, when Fatima first saw me on the other side of the room, now obviously I didn't find this out till much later, but when she first saw me from all the way on the other side of the room, her initial thought response, she's going to laugh when she sees this video, but her initial thought response was, "Wow, he's handsome." Now, if you know my wife, and you'd have to get to know her to understand this, but she's not somebody who thinks about people in that way. She's not somebody who looks at people in that way. Like, she doesn't go around assessing like, "Ooh, they're attractive, they're not attractive." That's not how she is. It's just not how she sees things. But, she told me, she's like, "It was so weird that was my response when I saw you that day, because that wasn't even how I think about things, but that was just my initial reaction was, wow, he's handsome." Not knowing we would one day be married, right? So then I stood up, I introduced myself, and then I said my age. And after I said my age, her immediate response to that, I said, "I'm 26 years old. And she said, "Oh, nope." And she goes, "I never thought about you in that way ever again from that moment forward, from the moment I found out how old you are." And this is so funny because we always tell people that if we had, discovered each other on dating apps, like, we wouldn't have matched each other's filter because, she had an idea of what she wanted. I had an idea of what I wanted, and we would have filtered each other out of our filters. So what happened was, now this was this instance where we saw each other from across the room. This was 4 months before we would even have our first date because I had really strict rules that I did not date any students, and she wasn't there looking to, date a trainer. So it wasn't until many months later that we actually connected in a certain environment where we were able to get to talking and actually, spend some time together. That's another story. But the point is once that happened, right? Once it happened that we got to talking, we got to spend some time together, we got to be one-on-one, we got to get to know each other. And we started to explore the possibility of having a relationship. And the way it actually happened was there was this weekend where a hurricane came in, and it was just, it blew into South Florida. She had come down to South Florida because she was there for this class she was doing, and there was this hurricane that came in and canceled everybody's plans for the weekend. And then a group of friends were inviting people to brunch. And I showed up at the brunch just offhand. I happened to decide to go. She was invited because one of the people that she was hanging out with was going. And we got there and we met each other, and we had, known each other before that. But she walks in and I saw her and I just said, "Hey, Fatima, come sit next to me." And she said, okay. She comes over and sits next to me. We got to talking. We ended up spending that whole weekend together. Then she went back to New Jersey, and we didn't see each other for 3 weeks. We talked every single night for those 3 weeks. And during those 3 weeks, what we discovered as we were talking every night was like, wow, we relate on so many levels. We connect on so many levels. We are like, there are so many things that we share in terms of our principles and our values and the way we see things and what we want from life and how we think about things and how we look at things. And there was just, it was so obvious to us after these first few weeks of talking every day. They're like, wow, we could really create something amazing together. And at that point, age didn't matter anymore. So I think if you're concerned about age, the question really isn't about age, but how age could play a part is if you're in different places in your life. Like, here's something about me and Fatima is she's a very young spirit and I'm a very old spirit. So something is that we've kind of balanced each other out in the middle, whereas we have a joke that she's 10 years younger than she actually is. And so she's actually younger than me because I've always felt like I was older. So we have this joke that we kind of balance each other out, and we kind of meet in that way where she's, feels much younger than she actually is, and I feel much older than I actually am. So we balance each other out in that way, and our relationship really works. But that comes from us being in a similar place in our life in terms of what we want, what we value, what we're looking to create, the vision for the future, and our vision for a relationship and our vision for what we want with each other and how we see that unfolding and where we see that going, and our desire to create that and share that and build that. And that spills over into, like, right now we're planning for a family. So we're like, we're on the same page with that, and we're looking to buy a house, and we're looking to, grow this company and do these things. And so because we are in that same place and we have those same values and a similar vision for our life, and we're looking to create that together, the age is not a problem. But if, say, somebody's maybe in their 30s and someone else is in their 20s, or maybe someone's in their 30s and someone else is in their 40s, right? And because that age difference is also causing them to be at different places in their life where they value different things and they want different things and they're looking for different things and their desires are different, well, then you might connect in a very fun and exciting way and share some good times together. But when it comes down to living out your dreams and creating a life together, you might have very different vision about what that is and very different dreams and where you want to go and different desires that might pull you in different directions. So the point I want to get to is that age is not the problem, but there could be conflicts in terms of your heartfelt desires, your dreams, your vision for your life, what you want from a relationship and the direction you see yourself going. And when we look at compatibility with people, when we sit down and we look at, is this relationship really compatible? There are actually 5 criteria that we use to determine if your relationship is compatible. And what I'd like to invite you to do, if you're interested in exploring this more, and if you're wondering, am I really compatible with my partner or the person I'm interested in or the person I'm dating? You can send us a DM and request an introductory session. What we'll do is we'll go ahead and we'll set up a discovery session or a compatibility session. And we'll look at those 5 criteria to determine if you and this person have true potential to create a future together. So if you'd like to do that, go ahead and send us a DM. I would love to hear your thoughts on this age conversation. Have you ever been with somebody who was younger than you or older than you, and what was that like? And how did that work? Were you in the same place in life? Were you able to create your dreams together, or were your desires pulling you in different directions? Tell us about it. If you're interested in setting up a compatibility session, send us a DM and we'll be happy to schedule that with you. Thanks so much for watching today's video. Tell us your thoughts below, and we'll see you soon. Take care.